Mind-blowing facts about Ukraine. Ukraine is one of those countries that may exceed your expectations. At the dawn of its existence, Ukraine used to be called Kiev and Rus. Kiev, the old Slavic capital of the powerful feudal state, Kiev and Rus, by the 11th century, was one of the largest and prosperous centers in Eastern Europe. Our city was the cradle of East Slavic civilization. Throughout history, western parts of Ukraine were occupied by Poland, Lithuania, Sweden, and such events had a great impact on Ukrainian language. Western parts of Ukraine always gravitated towards the west. Central and eastern parts for hundreds of years were influenced by Russia, but always wanted to remain independent. I would like to present an array of facts and trivia you probably did not know about Ukraine. It is large. Russia excluded, it is the largest country in Europe with an area of 600,000 square kilometers, which is a little larger than the territory of mainland France. Within Ukraine is the geographical center of Europe, in the small town of Rakhiv in western Ukraine. The obelisk marks this spot. Within its large borders, Ukraine has 7 World Heritage sites, including 11th century St. Sophia Cathedral in Kiev and the primeval beech forests in Carpathian Mountains. Ukraine is big enough to have forests and Carpathian Mountains in the east, plain on the west, and Azov and Black Sea on the south. You can choose anything you want without moving out of the country. You can ski there. It's no French Alps, but Ukraine has ski resorts to brag, including Bukovel in the Carpathian Mountains with 55 kilometers of slopes and 15 lifts. Ukraine possesses the world's largest reserves of manganese ore, which constitutes 11% of world's deposits. Ukraine has 33% of world's rich black earth soil. With its vast and soil-rich farmlands, Ukraine has been a global breadbasket. It is #1 exporter of sunflower oil and leader exporter of grains. Often viewed as a major international grain producer, Ukraine's fertile black soil helps farmers produce colossal volumes of sunflower oil, grain, fruits, poultry, and honey. When French novelist Honoré de Balzac came to Ukraine in the 19th century, he wrote, "Ukrainian land is so fertile that the peasants need only throw seeds to get a harvest. Any crop grows naturally." The largest cargo plane in the world, the Antonov AN 225 Mriya, in English Dream, was invented and built here. It has the largest wingspan of any aircraft, at 88 meters, and armed with 6 engines and a massive cargo hold. It can take 255 tons of cargo on board. The Soviet Union first commissioned the aircraft production in the 1980s with the purpose of carrying its version of the space shuttle, but the plane now flies cargo around the world. After a 2-year stay in maintenance, the Ukrainian-built aircraft is now skybound once again, and its first flight was COVID-19 mission between China and Europe. The Tunnel of Love, excellent Instagram shooting place, is found in the forests near town of Kyiv. It stretch of a railroad track which is within the green forest, and during the war it was used to secretly move supplies. Now it's used for a local wood factory. Ukrainian music has a soul, and it is inspiring. Old Ukrainian lullaby induced George Gershwin to write his Summertime. The Christmas song Shchedrik is of the Ukrainian folk song origin. It is known to the rest of the world as Carol of the Bells. Based on the old Ukrainian folk song, originally lyrics describe a swallow flying into the house to proclaim a plentiful year for the family. The song has been used many times in the soundtracks for movies. A Solomir, The world-famous song was composed in Odessa, Ukraine. Public transport and the train system is very cheap and highly reliable, although not new. The deepest station in the world is Arsenalna metro station in Kiev. It is 106 meters deep and it was built in 1960s. In April 1986, the worst nuclear accident in history unfolded in Chernobyl as a reactor at a nuclear power plant exploded, burned. Shrouded in secrecy, the incident was a watershed moment in both the Cold War and the history of nuclear power. Scientists estimate that the zone around the former plant will not be habitable for about 20,000 years. Chernobyl has become a spooky tourist attraction. Churches are everywhere. Kyiv is widely regarded as the country's spiritual capital. Pilgrims regularly travel long distances to visit St. Michael's Golden Domed Monastery, St. Sophia Cathedral and Kyiv Pechersklavara Kyiv Monastery, which are included in UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In June the 7th, Ukrainians celebrate Ivana Kupala night. It is summer fest where love, magic, pagan and Christian traditions come together in a most mystical, vibrant way. The old pagan traditions of celebration summer solstice and god Kupala, a god of solstice, love and harvest. On the day, fire and water have sacral and purifying qualities. Boys and girls join their hands together and jump over the fire in purification rituals. Locals believe that when a couple skip the fire without losing the grip of each other, their love will last forever. The symbol of the holiday is the fern. Since ancient times, there has been a legend about the fern flower that blooms only once a year on the eve of Ivana Kupala. It was believed that the flower would grant the person who found it the ability to understand the language of birds and animals, foresee the future, become invisible, and easily find hidden treasure. Lviv also claims to be the home of the first gas lamp, which was invented by a local pharmacist. Today, the achievement is remembered by a cafe called Gasova Lampa, found in the same building. According to Ukrainian folk tales, Kyiv boasts up to 3 official witch-gathering places. They share the name Lisa Hora, or Bold Mountains. Unlike many cultures around the world, Ukrainians wear wedding rings on their right hand, not on the left. Vyshyvanka is the Ukrainian national costume. It is decorated with ornamental embroidery featuring floral details. The tradition of painting eggs is the celebration of Easter originated in Ukraine. Originally, the eggs were patterned using wax and dye. These eggs with intricate designs and ornaments are known as pisankas. Ukraine has built the largest musical instrument in the world. It produces the sound that can be heard up to a distance of 10 kilometers. The pipepiece is named a trombita. In the beauty contest of languages in Paris in 1934, Ukrainian language took the second place after the Italian language in terms of melodiousness. If you are interested in Ukrainian history, wonderful people, cuisine, in Ukrainian Cossacks or Chernobyl disaster, you can watch my other videos from the list mind-blowing facts. Come and explore Ukraine with me.